Cybercrime protection. The Internet is a worldwide network of computerized devices and servers. Data travels to and fro among computer systems and servers. Around 3 billion people in the world are using the Internet. The countries with largest number of Internet users include China, United States, and India. The organization that provides the Internet facility to its users is called Internet Service Provider, ISP. They normally charge a usage-based fee from the customers. Advantages of Internet. There are many advantages of Internet. You can make transactions, online donations. You can send and receive information across large matrix of computer systems. Through email service, you can send messages for both business and personal purposes. Internet has opened doors for virtual online offices. During the festive season, you don't need to visit crowded stores to buy your stuff. You can make online purchases at a bargain price. You can send birthday greeting cards through the Internet. Before making any purchases, you can check online for user reviews of the products that you intend to buy. You can use social media applications on your personal computer and mobile devices. In this way, you can reconnect to your old school friends. You can gather information for new job openings. You can also apply online for jobs. You can earn online by doing freelancing jobs, selling online, completing surveys, affiliate marketing, etc. You can also sell old items that are of no use for you. During idle time, you can listen to music or watch a video of your choice. Ethics in computing. Ethics are a set of moral principles that govern an individual or a group of people on what is acceptable behavior while using a computer. Duplicating the copyrighted content without the author's approval, accessing personal information of others are some of the examples that violate ethical principles. Cyber ethics is a code of behavior for moral, legal, and social issues on the Internet or cyber technology. Cyber ethics also includes obeying laws that apply to online behavior. By practicing cyber ethics, one can have a safer and enjoyable Internet experience. Cyberbullying is the use of information technology to repeatedly harm or harass other people in a deliberate manner. With the increase in use of these technologies, cyberbullying has become increasingly common, especially among teenagers. Here are some points to be considered to behave ethically in cyber world. Acceptance. World Wide Web is not a waste wild web. You must take care while shaping content and services, and you should recognize that the Internet is not apart from universal society, but it is a primary component of it. Sensitivity to national and local cultures. Sensitivity belongs to all, and there is no barrier of national and local cultures. It cannot be subject to one set of values like local TV channel, a local newspaper, and you have to accommodate multiplicity of usage. While using email and chatting, Internet must be used for communication with family and friends. You should not use the Internet chatting for communicating with strangers and should not forward the emails from strangers. And you must know about the risks involved in chatting or forwarding emails to strangers. Pretending someone else. You must not use the Internet to pretend as someone else and fool others. You must know that fooling others and hiding your own identity is a crime. Avoid bad language. You must not use rude or bad language while using email, chatting, blogging, and social networking. You need to respect their views and should not criticize anyone on the Internet. Hide personal information. Never give your personal details like home address, phone numbers, interests, passwords to anyone. Never send any photographs to strangers as it might be misused and shared with others without their knowledge. Ethical rules for the computer users. Some of the rules that the individuals should follow while using a computer are listed here. Do not use computers to harm other users. Do not use computers to steal others' information. Do not access files without the permission of the owner. Do not copy copyrighted software without the owner's permission. Always respect copyright laws and policies. Respect the privacy of others, just as you expect the same from others. Do not use other users' computer resources without their permission. Use Internet ethically. Computer ethics is a set of moral principles that govern the usage of computers. One of the common issues of computer ethics is violation of copyright issues. Complain about illegal communication and activities, if found, to the Internet service providers and local law enforcement authorities. Users are responsible for safeguarding their user IDs and passwords. They should not write them on paper or anywhere else for remembrance. Users should not intentionally use the computers to retrieve or modify the information of others, which may include password information, files, etc. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place using electronic technology. Electronic technology includes devices and equipment such as cell phones, computers, and tablets, as well as communication tools including social media sites, text messages, chat, and websites. Examples of cyberbullying include text messages or emails, rumors spread through email or posted on social networking sites, and embarrassing pictures, videos, websites, or fake profiles. Digital plagiarism. Plagiarism is one of the major forms of academic dishonesty which has always existed in education, including higher education. For example, assignments submitted by students may turn out to be copied from fellow students or could be taken over in part or in whole from existing published works. The use of computers and internet added to the means that students have at their disposal to commit plagiarism. However, they make it much easier to do and much harder to detect. Hacking. Hacking is unauthorized intrusion into a computer or network. The person engaged in hacking activities is generally referred to as a hacker. This hacker may alter system or security features to accomplish a goal that differs from the original purpose. Ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is identifying weakness in computer systems and/or computer networks and coming with countermeasures that protect the weaknesses. Ethical hackers must abide by these rules. Get written permission from the owner of the computer system and/or computer network before hacking. Protect the privacy of the organization being hacked. Transparently report all the identified weaknesses in the computer system to the organization. Inform hardware and software vendors of the identified weaknesses. Phishing. Phishing is an act of sending an email to a user falsely claiming to be an established organization. It is an attempt to insist the user to surrender private information that can be misused. Phishing email will typically direct the user to visit a website where they are asked to update personal information such as a password, credit card, social security, or bank account numbers that the legitimate organization already has. The website, however, is bogus and will capture and steal any information the user enters on the page. Spamming. Spam is considered to be electronic junk mail or junk newsgroup postings. Some people define spam even more generally as any unsolicited email. However, if a long-lost brother finds your email address and sends you a message, this could hardly be called spam, even though it is unsolicited. Real spam is generally email advertising for some product sent to a mailing list or news group. Computer privacy. Internet privacy is the privacy and security level of personal data published via the Internet. It is a broad term that refers to a variety of factors, techniques, and technologies used to protect sensitive and private data, communications, and preferences. Right to privacy. The law of privacy is the recognition of the individual's right to be let alone and to have his personal space inviolate. The need for privacy and its recognition as a right is a modern phenomenon. It is the product of an increasingly individualistic society in which the focus has shifted from society to the individual. In early times, the law offered protection only against physical interference with a person or his property. As civilization progressed, the personal, intellectual, and spiritual facets of the human personality gained recognition, and the scope of the law expanded to give protection to these needs. Internet privacy and anonymity are paramount to users, especially as e-commerce continues to gain attraction. Privacy violations and threat risks are standard considerations for any website under development. Software piracy. Software piracy is the illegal copying, distribution, or use of software. It is such a profitable business that it has caught the attention of organized crime groups in a number of countries. According to the Business Software Alliance, BSA, about 36% of all software in current use are stolen. Software piracy causes significant loss revenue for publishers, which in turn results in higher prices for the consumer. When you purchase a commercial software package, an end-user license agreement, EULA, is included to protect that software program from copyright infringement. Typically, the license states that you can install the original copy of software you bought on one computer and that you can make a backup copy in case the original is lost or damaged. You agree to the licensing agreement when you open the software package. This is called a shrink-wrap license. When you open the envelope or when you install the software. Software piracy applies mainly to full-function commercial software. The time-limited or function-restricted versions of commercial software, called shareware, are less likely to be pirated since they are freely available. Similarly, freeware, a type of software that is copyrighted but freely distributed at no charge, also offers little incentive for piracy. Types of cybercrime: soft lifting, borrowing and installing a copy of a software application from a colleague. Client-server overuse, installing more copies of the software than you have licenses for. Hard disk loading, installing and selling unauthorized copies of software on refurbished or new computers. Counterfeiting, duplicating and selling copyrighted programs. Online piracy typically involves downloading illegal software from peer-to-peer network, internet auction, or blog. In the past, the only place to download software was from a bulletin board system, and these were limited to local areas because of long-distance charges while online. Intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights refers to a person's claim on something that they have written, invented, recorded, or otherwise own. Any violation of these rights can be viewed as theft. Violations include, but are not limited to, the downloading or duplicating of any copyrighted digital media, that is, music, movies, or software, without proper consent, and plagiarism of any kind. It would be in your best interest to avoid these violations at all costs, as many of them are just not immoral but also illegal. The 10 Commandments of Computer Ethics. Thou shalt not use a computer to harm other people. Thou shalt not interfere with other people's computer work. Thou shalt not snoop around in other people's computer files. Thou shalt not use a computer to steal. Thou shalt not use a computer to bear false witness. Thou shalt not copy or use proprietary software for which you have not paid without permission. Thou shalt not use other people's computer resources without authorization or proper compensation. Thou shalt not appropriate with other people's intellectual output. Thou shalt think about the social consequences of the program you are writing or the system you are designing. Thou shalt always use a computer in ways that ensure consideration and respect for your fellow humans. Safety measures in computing. When it comes to the internet, people generally believe that they are safer than they actually are. Why? Well, often the impersonal nature of technology can give us a false sense of security. After all, no one can physically attack us through a computer screen. We tend to have "it won't happen to me" attitude. We may even believe that our computer programs and the powers that are automatically taking care of all that internet security stuff for us. Sometimes we just avoid it altogether because, to be frank, we just don't get it. Does this sound like you? Consider these questions. Have you ever Googled yourself to see what information can be found on you? Have you set your computer's security program to make sure you are getting regular updates? Do you have an external backup source for your computer? Are you enticed by emails or advertisements with special discount offers? When shopping online, do you check a website's security status before entering your billing information? Have you customized your privacy settings for your social networking accounts like Facebook, MySpace, and Skype? Do these questions make you nervous? There are precautions we should all be taking on a regular basis to maintain our personal safety and protect our computer while using the internet. Think of the internet as you would think of a shopping mall. Generally, a mall is not considered a dangerous place. You go there to shop, run errands, and meet people. But you also take precautions while you are there. You wouldn't leave your car unlocked in the parking lot or walk around with your wallet hanging out of your purse. You wouldn't tell a sales clerk your social security number or give your address to a stranger you just met. The same applies when you are on the internet. You need not fear with every mouse click, but you should take precautions to ensure your safety. Internet safety for children. Unethical practices and risk on internet. Chatting. A child may waste a lot of time in the chat room and could increase your telephone expense. If your internet works through a telephone line, it could lead to chat addiction. For utilizing the facility of chat, follow the undermentioned etiquette. Do not hurt others' feelings and respect the user on the other end. Do not fix any meeting with any stranger. Type the answer only after carefully reading the incoming messages. Keep your message short and to the point. Email bombing. It refers to the sending of large number of mails to a victim which result into crashing. Online gambling. There are several sites on the web which allow people to gamble with real money just for fun. Crime using computers. Stealing laptop containing owner's information on its hard disk is same as stealing briefcase that contains papers of owner's information. Using others' computers may also be another way of stealing valuable documents as well as transcripts. Unauthorized changing of data, for example, changing an official record of a student's work and school transcript, is also a crime. The criminal reads or copies confidential information, but data is neither deleted nor changed. Protective measures. Authorization. It is the act of giving permission to use confidential documents. Always keep all your devices and data protected with passwords, and only the authorized users should be permitted to use it. Authentication. User should be considered authentic when he or she gives his or her true information for using the data. Example: user enters their correct password to access information. Keep your password as strong as possible by using mix with alphabets, numbers, and special characters. Never reveal your passwords to anybody. If there is any threat on the internet, just inform your parents or teacher. Never open unknown and untrustworthy websites. Never respond to emails of unknown persons and companies. Never reveal your personal information like address, date of birth, telephone number, school name, etc. Firewall. Firewall enables to prevent unauthorized internet users from accessing private networks connected to the internet. Restricted actions. If you are not sharing the files with other computers, then switch off the file sharing. To confirm the switching off the file sharing, click on Network Neighborhood and in Properties, immediately click on File and Print Sharing so that it may not get selected. Do not show your password to anybody. If anybody asks your password on telephone or online, then be careful. Do not download the files and software by unreliable means. Open the email attachment only if you have full confidence on the sender. You should always use an antivirus software. Digital footprints. On the internet, a digital footprint is the word used to describe the trail, traces, or footprints that people leave online. This is the information transmitted online, such as forum registration, emails and attachments, uploading videos or digital images, and any other form of transmission of information, all of which leaves traces of personal information about you and becomes available to others online.